This is John. We're going to show you our layout plans for our HO layout. We just moved to this house about 2 weeks ago. So we're going to kind of just give you an idea how the track's going to go. If we can, it's our initial plan. It might change a little bit. At first, right here, we have a staircase behind us. We're going to have a yard. So it's basically going to be a main line and a loading and unloading track and about 5-yard tracks. We just have some track on the ground just to play with ideas and stuff. We'll show you a paper plan that we have that's been changed slightly. And so basically from the end of the staircase all the way up to here will be a yard. At some point we're going to have a turntable in the corner. And so basically we have, this is not the actual track plan, but if it was, this would be the main line, this would be the yard lead. The yard lead would be going into a Y here so we can turn engines around until the turntable gets put in. So the yard lead will just basically go out another 2 feet or so, enough room for an engine. And it might actually go back into the main line, but we're not sure if we're going to do that or not. And so if you look at the floor plan here, we have 2 rooms that we're going to use. So it's going to start at the yard. It'll go along this back wall. The bay window wasn't in the original plan. When we measured the house, it actually is bigger than we thought. So we had room to put the Y there. And then it will end up going down this wall and then into the other room. But the wall in the other room's out another foot or 2, so we have to actually have it actually is going to do like an S curve right here. And then we'll be in the show you the next room in a little bit, but once it goes into that room, it comes back all the way around the back wall. And if you see on the wall over there, it's going to come around and that's going to loop around. Basically, it'll be kind of like a spiral, and then in the middle, it's going to have a return loop. So then we'll go ahead and go in the other room. And then when we're done, I'll show you the plan, which we did in the previous video. So here's the other room. Right now, we just have a temporary O-gauge layout, just so we can, the O-gauge will probably end up being underneath the HO layout at some point in time. Yeah, but as you can see we go all the way around the outside wall and then back into the other room, and then on the inside we have it loop around back into the return loop. So now we'll go ahead and show you the layout plan that we have. And the main change on it is where the Y is going to be located. So we have the plan over here, and here's the yard lead and the main. This Y here actually is going to get moved over here, and it'll go into the bay window, which isn't on this particular plan. And then we're going to have at least 3 passing sidings. We're going to have one here, one down here, possibly one up here, and then a return loop, which partially be in a mount to make it look like it's going off in the distance and then coming back from somewhere else. So that's our basic plan. And by the way, we also have some Kato track that we're trying to get rid of, mainly because we're going to be using Flex track. We don't need the Kato track anymore. So that's the end of the movie now, and we'll talk to you next time. We did a quick sample of how the track plan is going to go. My son's going to go ahead and video it just to give you an idea how it's going to be laid out on the floor. We just did this temporary. It's just really, really rough, but just to give you an idea.